1943, Dayton, Ohio looked normal. At the National Cash Register Factory, men punched clocks. Trucks rolled in and out. Cash registers clanged like always. Middle America doing Middle America things. But inside one building, Building 26, the windows were blacked out. Armed guards at the doors. Restricted access. No visitors. And behind those doors? A mechanical supercomputer. Because in the Atlantic, American ships were going down. German U-boats were tearing through supply lines. Young men were drowning in freezing water. The Allies needed a miracle. And somehow, that miracle was being built in Ohio. Now let's be clear. The code-breaking story usually starts in England with Alan Turing at Bletchley Park, and rightfully so. Turing and his team built the original bomb machines to attack Germany's Enigma code. Straight-up genius work. Game-changer stuff. But here's the problem. U-boat codes were more complex, more rotors, more variables. The Atlantic battlefield moved fast. The British machines were moving shaky against the new naval encryption. So Britain made a high-stakes gamble. They came to America, specifically to Dayton, Ohio. Entered Joseph Desch, electrical engineer. Total powerhouse, not a household name. But maybe he should be. At NCR's Building 26, Desch was handed a challenge. Build a faster, stronger American bomb. No pressure, right? Desch and his team didn't just tweak the British design. They rebuilt it from scratch. They constructed 120 massive electromechanical machines, each one packed with thousands of spinning rotors, 2.5 miles of wire per unit, panels of relays clicking like controlled chaos. This wasn't Silicon Valley coding. This was steel, copper, and raw engineering grit. And every delay meant more American ships at the bottom of the ocean. That's pressure. But here's the part that blew my mind. The Navy didn't just bring engineers. They brought 600 women. The WWII's women accepted for volunteer emergency service. Young women in uniform, many barely in their 20s. They took a vow of silence. Breaking it? Treason. Prison time. They lived at a place called Sugar Camp, small wooden cabins outside Dayton. No glamour, no headlines. Every morning, they marched information to Building 26. Inside, they operated the bombs around the clock, feeding configurations, monitoring outputs, listening to the rhythmic hum of machines trying to outthink Nazi encryption. This wasn't frontline combat, but it was mental warfare at industrial scale, high IQ sacrifice. They couldn't tell their parents what they did. They couldn't tell their husbands. They couldn't even tell their kids decades later. And they kept that promise. Here's why this mattered. Desch's American bombs cracked the naval Enigma at scale. That meant real-time tracking of U-boats, convoys rerouted, ambushes avoided, submarines hunted. Historians estimate Allied code-breaking shortened World War II by at least 2 years. Think about that. 2 years of lives saved. And intelligence from these decrypts helped lay groundwork for D-Day planning. That's not hype. That's receipts. And after the war, silence. The program stayed classified for nearly 50 years. Declassified in the 1990s, many of the WWIIs had already passed away without telling their story. Not because they were forced to stay quiet, because they were proud to. Building 26 was eventually demolished. No museum crowds. No blockbuster movie. Just another factory site in Ohio. But inside that building, Midwestern engineers and 600 young women helped bend the arc of history. They didn't chase headlines. They didn't write memoirs. They just did the work. This is America, the 250th chapter. The quiet innovation, the under-the-radar heroes. The stories that built the country we're about to celebrate. If this one meant something to you, subscribe. Because there are more chapters like this, hidden in plain sight.